anger. Let's see if we can't throw up a little sticker for. Nope, I can't do that. Anyways, so today we're talking about anger and how we need to let it be a window shopper rather than a resident in our home. So, as many of you know, I've struggled many years with my anger. It has led me to doing some pretty wild stuff, like anger is not something that for me was ever something I could control. It was like like I even remember as a kid trying to learn to play tennis. And I remember just getting so angry that I would just like hit the racket on the ground, like just throw a fit. That was the kind of rage that I had. And what was that? That must have been like eighth, ninth grade. So it wasn't like my brain had fully formed. Maybe my brain hasn't fully formed yet now, anyways. But so I've been dealing with anger for a very long time. And about 12 years ago, I decided, you know what? I'm done with anger. I am so done. I need to figure out how to get this under control. Whether it's by force, whether like, I don't know, do I need to go like to some mountain and pray it away? Do I need to like become a monk, a nun, or like what is it about my anger that I can't, you know, keep it controlled? So I wound up going to like Emotions Anonymous and I've done, workbooks and prayed and meditated. I've, done yoga. I've done so many different things in order to be able to get my anger under control. Now, none of that shit worked. Sorry for the swearing, but none of that worked. Anger cannot be controlled. It's like you have to prevent it from happening rather than being able, because like once you become angry, it's almost as if you're possessed. Like being able to like quash anger when it's already manifested in your body and in your heart is next to impossible. It can be done. I've done it, but it's next to impossible. Like that's the hard way to stop being angry. That's the hard way to stop from expressing the emotion of anger and many negative emotions for that matter. Like once you get sad, like can you all of a sudden be happy? No. However, anger is not something that again, you can't stop it once it started. So the prevention is where it's at. So something that I have learned about anger is you will feel anger rising in you. And you have to think of it like an emotion that's passing through you. You have to think of it as like you are a home, you are a house, and anger is looking for a place to live. So it's coming by, it's knocking on the door, it's looking in the windows thinking, can I come in? Can I come in? Like I need a place. And it's up to you to say yes or no. It's up to you to answer the door. It's up to you to open a window. It's up to you to give it an opportunity to come in to your home. Now, you don't want to do that because once you let anger in that door, it's a squatter. It's going to stay there. It's going to fester. It's going to kick up its shoes on the coffee table and say, I live here now. It's not coming to visit. It's not coming to say hello for some tea and then leave. No, it stays there. It puts its stuff in the drawers. And next thing you know, you got a roommate. You got a lifetime roommate that wants to be in your home. You got a lifetime roommate that sits there, doesn't pay any bills, and you're just thinking like, "What the heck?" Like, why am I still mad at this person that I knew 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago? Like, why is it that my heart still feels this anger? It's because you let them in the door. It's because you welcome them into your home, which is your heart, which is your body, and you decided, yes, I will allow you to come in. Now, preventing anger is easier said than done. Preventing anger isn't something that happens overnight. Again, 12 years I have been on this anger journey. 12 years I have been trying to figure out the magic trick. And like, it's not easy. It's not easy. So, what do? Well, step number one comes with awareness. Step number one comes with what are your triggers? Working on those when you're actually happy, working on those when you're not feeling the emotion of anger. So, really dissecting, hey, okay, the last time I got angry, this was what happened. For me, what I found was I would always be on a high. I would not like high with drugs or nothing like that, but I would always be like having an amazing day. Something would just be like, oh, just the best day of my life. Like everything went according to plan, everything happened. And then one thing would go wrong and I would just completely implode. Now, I had to learn that that was my trigger, that when I was having a really good day, I wanted to self sabotage. So that was a trigger for me and I would have to dissect, okay, what happened? Why did I need to sabotage that? Like what was it about having a good day that I feel not worthy of? So, but I couldn't do that while I was angry. I had to do that while I was happy. So, being happy is the time to actually dissect what are your triggers for when you're upset? What are your triggers for when you have that moment that you like just implode? So, first is awareness, okay? Be aware of what your triggers are. Next, be aware of the people who trigger you. Like, I know a lot of women will sort of feel me on this, but my mom was a massive trigger for me. And I had to learn that, okay, before I see this person, I need to understand that they're going to say things, they're going to do things, they're going to get me to try to do things. They're like, just the things that they do are what upset me. And so I would have to always have like a prep before I see specific people. I have to, hi, everybody. So I would have to absolutely prep myself before seeing people. So not only am I looking at my triggers, but I'm looking at the people who set off my triggers. What's my relationship to them? What is it that I'm sitting here like? Why am I holding anger? And like, why am I so ready to pounce on them when I see them? So that is another way that you can work on your awareness. So then, once you are aware of what's triggering you, who's triggering you, think about when are you getting triggered. I have to stop because there's a big old puddle right here and cars are coming. So, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, PMSing. Those 5 different physical conditions that as humans we have, those are things that you can mitigate. You can get enough sleep. You can eat some food. You can get some rest. And we're talking about anger. So that's probably not a trigger for the trigger, but that is also another thing that you can work on. So awareness, massive, absolutely massive. But now, what happens when you start to feel the emotion? What happens when it's bubbling up because you knew that you were going to see that person who was going to trigger you. You knew they were going to say the thing and they said the thing and you're feeling it in your body. The thing that you do not do, the absolute thing that you do not do is try to suppress it. No, that's counterintuitive. I'm not saying lean into it. I'm saying observe it, witness it. Say, hi, anger. I see you. I see that I'm getting upset. I see that I'm feeling upset. I see that something is happening in my body, that I'm having a physical reaction with this anger, and notice it. That's like step one. In my 12-year journey here, trying to even witness it was the hardest part of it because the awareness part, looking at, the people who trigger you, the things that trigger you, looking at the five physical states, six physical states, whatever, like that comes after you do this. Like this is step number one, is even noticing that you're having a physical reaction to anger, even noticing that you are having these emotions that are coming up, witnessing it. This is like across the board for all emotions, and like especially the negative vibration emotions. You have to be able to witness that it's happening in your body versus feeling it, which it is such a subtle difference. But once you get the opportunity to be like, oh, I'm feeling angry, but I don't have to be angry. Total game changer. Okay, so somebody that you knew was going to trigger you said the thing that was going to trigger you, and now you witness it. Now, what do? Now say, hey, thank you. You slam the door on their face because you do not let it reside in your home. You let it keep moving. So you let it process in your body. You breathe, you meditate, you journal, you, um, whatever you do to connect to higher source, to a different part of you, to love, to like whatever it is that you do. Sometimes you got to do some silly crap too. You got to do things like sing a happy song. You got to dance. You got to smile. You have to do something that really shifts your energy. Again, it's not denying that you're angry. It's saying, yes, I'm angry, but right now is not the time to address it. You don't want to address your angry when you're angry because you'll just be stuffing it down into the pits of your soul and it's just going to live there. So you say, okay, I'm feeling angry. Let me do something to just like feel better right now. And then you go back to the dissecting. Why did they trigger you? What was it about it? How can I transform it? What was the situation? Was I angry, hungry, lonely, tired, PMSing? Like what was it? And then you can move on from there. Now, let's say you saw the person who's going to trigger you. They triggered you and you leaned into the anger. You said, F that, I'm going ham. I am just hitting the self destruct button. F that. Like you can't stop it. Okay. That right there is going to set you down a path of having to like rework and backtrack all that you just demolished. So now, not only do you have to separate yourself from the feeling, not only do you have to look at the way that it triggered you, why it triggered you, who triggered you, when did it trigger you? Not only do you have to do that, but now you also have to work on your ego part to be able to make amends, to say you're sorry, to say, hey, I didn't mean what I said, or, let me pay for the laptop that I threw across the room. I'm not saying that I have experience in that. Problem being is that now you have to add this layer. So now not only do you have to address the anger, but now you also have to address your ego. So that's why I say it is important. It is imperative. It is of the utmost importance that you stop anger from inhabiting any part of your life, because it's just going to be so much easier to deal with and navigate rather than having to add the layer of dealing with your ego, because your ego is not your amigo. That thing does not want to leave. That thing is the litigator, it's the attorney, it's the thing that convinces you you're right when you're not right. It's the thing that convinces you that, you know, hey, I had every reason to be upset. I have every reason to be self-righteous. I have every reason. Yes, you do. But do you want to live with that poison in your body? Do you want to live with that poison DNA of anger in your body? Anger creates disease. Anger creates like discord within your spirit. It is of the utmost importance. It is not something that you just even want to play around with. So address it before it happens. And so that's my little rant for today. A couple of things. One, if you're looking for ways to help you with your anger, if you're looking for ways to actually figure out how your anger is preventing you from manifesting, you can look at a link on my bio. I have a 21-day experience where we do deep dives into your manifestations and we excise all the feelings that are preventing you from manifesting. And anger is one of them, massive one of them, major one. And secondly, my second announcement is every Thursday, I have a master class that you can sign up for. Again, the link is in the bio. And in that, every single week on Thursday, noontime Eastern, I do my master class on manifestation. Today, we're talking about how to walk back manifestations, how to ask for less to get more. And it's going to be an amazing one. So, you guys just sign up this week, next week, whatever week you can join. It's really a lot of fun time. And even if you can't make it, still sign up because I send out the replays directly to people, or you can find them under my masterclass tab or playlist, whatever. So that's it for me, guys. I'm about to get to the gym. Love you guys. Bye.